Welcome, everyone. We're just waiting a few more minutes to let others log on. So we're going to go ahead and push pause here while others are logging on, and we'll be back with you in about 5 minutes.
Let's see. Okay, I'm good. Hello, everybody. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We were just fighting a little technical difficulty right here for the first time on a virtual lesson. I just recognized and realized that we've got all types of students on tonight, probably some parents too. We have some freshmen joining in as well as seniors that are going to be starting their senior year in a very unique way. And we certainly recognize this unprecedented time that we're in. The way that we're starting school is certainly will be different than anything that any of us have ever experienced. So we welcome you. We know there's a lot of questions. If you're on tonight, then you've chosen a virtual education to start the school year. And that's certainly an option that we offered, and a lot of people are using it. So we want to cover a few bases with you tonight. We'll cover some things that'll be a little different than if you were virtual in the spring, which you were. The start of the year will be a little bit different, and the requirements will be a little bit different. But we want to try to clear up some water tonight, just so some understandings in place as we get started for school here next week, and everybody's on the same page. We certainly realize that technology could be an issue as we go through virtual teaching and virtual learning, virtual instruction. Technology is a big part of this, obviously, and from the school end as well as your end at home, we realize that there are times when technology may fail us. We all have to be patient. We'll work through those hiccups as they come up. So be patient on your end. Our school will certainly be tested with all this technology each and every day by our teachers as we log on at the same time. So there's some unique challenges on that end, and we know that there's some unique challenges on your end as well. For parents that have joined us tonight, we realize that as parents this fall, this is a unique time and a challenging time for you too. We recognize and respect that, and we look forward to supporting you and these students in any way that we possibly can. It will take all of us doing our parts to have a successful school year. On our end, we have the charge to have classes ready, to have our courses set and ready, all the things that we need to do on our end. Each and every teacher has been up here in our building, our leadership team, our staff, our faculty, putting in a lot of extra hours up here getting ready. So I have a lot of confidence in the people in this building. There's some talented teachers in our building. There's some very talented students that attend our school. Some of you will be virtual, and then, of course, some will be in the building. We want to cover some things tonight with you that we hope will help and answer some questions as we move forward. I'm joined tonight by Ms. Ashley Ellis, our assistant principal. We may even have an opportunity to talk to a couple of our guidance counselors who do an outstanding job here on campus. We want to try to get some things, some information out to you and try to clear up some things. Do know this, if you're home tonight and you're sitting and getting ready for a virtual setting to start school, one of the biggest things I want to share and make clear to you is what happened in the spring with virtual learning and what will go on in the fall will be really different. Each day you're going to be expected to be in class. We have a 7:30 bell that will ring. Our first class will start at 7:37. Whether you're virtual or whether you're here in school, you'll be expected to be logged in and be ready for that class. We'll take attendance through the virtual classes as well by signing into a chat room. So you'll be required to be up, be ready, be dressed, and have the things ready on your end, ready to go. Then we'll do our part on our end as well. Like I said, we do recognize you guys as certainly as our Tigers. You're at home, just a little bit different environment, obviously. We want to keep you plugged into our school. So we'll talk about a few ways to do that through our website, through the Monroe City School website, and through our Neville High School website to keep you abreast of things that are going on, some changes. Also, we'll talk tonight about the Remind app, how to use that, how to stay informed, and how your teachers will keep you informed through that. So it'll take a team effort. I'm looking forward as principal to being a part of this process with you. We all have our unique challenges and jobs to do. So I look forward to working with you each and every day. I look forward to supporting our students and our parents as well in this very, very unique time. At this time, I want to bring aboard our assistant principal, Ms. Ashley Ellis. She's going to cover a little presentation with you and talk through our virtual school orientation and again, try to clean up some things and get some information out to you that we hope is very helpful. So Ashley, whenever you're ready, thank you.
Okay, I'm ready. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you all so you can see what the presentation. This will be similar to how teachers will be sharing their screens with students during virtual learning. And first of all, we want to welcome our Tigers. We also want to make sure that, you know, everyone knows that this presentation is for virtual only students. So we'll be talking about the experience for virtual only students, and it's specific to that group. All right, our goals for virtual learning. We really want to make sure that we provide continuous live virtual instruction taught by Neville High School teachers. And we think that's really important. We know that there are schools across the state that have chosen different programs to teach their virtual students, those who have decided to stay home. But we want to give our students the best opportunity to have our students and to hear from our students. And so we will be providing live virtual instruction every day. Virtual students will receive the same high quality instruction as our traditional students through this live interaction. So we don't anticipate virtual students having an experience any different than students who are face-to-face, outside of they're not in the building. So what do I need? The school will provide a Chromebook for all students, including students who will attend face-to-face. All students will need a Chromebook and reliable internet. That was part of the survey as we asked parents when you actually, the registration for virtual school is you had to sign up and let us know where you were with reliable internet. If something has changed since you completed that registration, or you realize after today that maybe you need a different internet capability, we really do want to know. And so at the end of this, I'll give you an email address maybe that you can email to and let us know your concerns. And so how will it work? Coach McCarty talked a little bit about that, but I want to just reiterate some things. The virtual and hybrid students will follow his or her assigned schedule. So once the scheduling management system opens up and you can go see your schedule in the Student Progress Center, then you will follow that schedule. And I'm going to show you how to get the information you need for your teachers. But let's say first period you go to English 1 Miss Tucker, then you would go to first period English 1 Miss Tucker while you're at home signing in virtually. Each class will have a 5-minute break between classes while traditional students change classes. And you know, we will have kids who are also at home on certain days that are face-to-face kids as well. So there will be some movement between the kids that are at school and some kids will be at home every day. It'll be a different group. Students must log into class via Zoom by the tardy bell each period. And all hybrid and virtual students will be assigned a Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday schedule for classes. In the Neville Notes Family Edition that we sent out via Remind on Friday night, we did list that we have broken down our A groups and B groups, our Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday groups already by alphabet. And I'll go over that again towards the end. And Fridays, we will alternate depending on schedules. Again, Fridays alternating would be whether you come to school or not. For virtual students, it would still be a virtual instructional day. So let's see what I'm talking about. I know it's complicated to explain, but I just want you to look here and maybe this will help give you an example of what a virtual schedule could look like. If you're assigned Monday, Wednesdays, then you would attend all of your classes via Zoom on Mondays and Wednesdays. So every class, including your electives, you would log into their Zoom, and you would watch during that class period. But on Tuesday, Thursdays, let's say you're in the A group, you will only attend your core classes via Zoom. We feel like it's going to be a challenge for students who are working at home virtually to be on their computer 7 hours, 6 hours a day. And so we thought this was a good balance to having our core classes be the classes that students log into on their, we'll call them hybrid days or their off day. We'll explain that a little bit more, but all of our students will follow either a Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday schedule, even the virtual students. This would be a Tuesday, Thursday example, same concept, and Fridays would be rotating again for virtual students. You would attend as usual on Friday. Okay, so I'm not sure if you've looked at the virtual handbook. There's some really, really important information in the virtual handbook, and I'm just going to link to it really quickly. I've linked to it, and what you'll want to look at, I'm just going to scroll down, some responsibilities of students and parents. And if you can't read this, remember, we have this on our website. But we want students to know that failure to log in to video conferencing according to your schedule will result in an absence. And I know Coach McCarty mentioned that, but we want to make sure everyone knows that you need to be logged in to be considered present in class. You need to remain logged in throughout the period. Most teachers, and we have recommended to all of our faculty that they request to see your face for instruction, so it can't just be a picture of you or your name on the screen or something like that. You'll have to be visible like I'm visible now, where you can hear me and see me throughout the period. So that's just something to note. I'm not going to read this entire handbook to you. It's pretty lengthy, but it's very informative. So I recommend that you go to the website and you give it a look. Let me scroll back. Okay, so I did go through the handbook and pull out what we think are some best practices for students. We want you guys to know this. This is the important pieces of the handbook. Students should be in a quiet area free from distractions for Zoom sessions. Some students are putting a backdrop behind them, or they're finding a space in their house that is very conducive to learning, something that's quiet. There is a recommendation not to have a fan going in your room because the video tries to catch the fan and it makes it blurry. So just be thoughtful about that. Once class is started, students will be counted tardy or absent if they've not logged in after 5 minutes. Students should be dressed appropriately in clothing conducive to learning. Eating and drinking should be avoided during Zoom sessions. And students will follow the classroom rules set forth by their teacher. Your teachers will go through a set of expectations in their classroom about how to communicate back, ask questions, how do you engage in class virtually, and they'll walk you through that as the first week progresses. But just know that some teachers may have different expectations just about how you interact and engage. Okay, so students will receive grades based on assignments and assessments required by each class. This is normal school. I know the spring was a little different. We had all kinds of issues. We didn't know this was going to happen. We sent kids home without proper technology, and we weren't really able to ensure quality instruction and an equitable instructional experience. And so we didn't grade, there was attendance issues. In this instance, this will all be taken care of. All students will get a device, and all students will have access to the internet. Therefore, all students can complete their assignments. Number 7, students should follow the teacher's set forth plan for answering questions in class discussion, like we talked about. Students must treat their Zoom time as though they were actually in the classroom. Assignments and assessments should be submitted through Google Classroom by the assigned date. And teachers and district staff, and this is important, I'm going to make note of this, teachers and district staff will be monitoring the district-issued laptop. Students are expected to use the devices for educational purposes only. This is new. We have not been trained on the new program, but my understanding is that Teachers will be able to see what websites and what programs students are on, whether they're virtual or at the school. And if a student veers away from the activity or the lesson the teacher has assigned them, teachers may make a note of it to the student, or they may actually close out that website from their own computer here at school. So I think it's helpful. As a parent, I think that it would be nice to know that, you know, even though your student is at home and maybe they're doing this work without a parent there, that the teachers are able to navigate and keep your students on track and engaged with this new platform. So let's recap. And I've still got a couple of things I want to talk to you about, but just to recap about what will virtual instruction look like. We want to make sure that all students receive a high quality education, and we believe that we can do that with our virtual students as well as our face-to-face students. Just so everyone knows, you will follow your schedule as planned. You'll log in virtually, and you'll be assigned whether you're an A group or a B group, which tells you what days to log into your electives. And then the last section is support. We want parents to know that there will be self-paced lessons, and these things we hope that students will begin to adjust to pacing themselves. But we'll also have office hours where teachers will be able to check in with them, and students can ask very specific questions that they have that maybe they didn't ask during class. So I guess the big question, and this is what we talked about when we were trying to prepare for an orientation for you all within this little window of time, is that how would a virtual student get engaged if they never show up to Neville High School next week? And we want you to know that you should be able to get engaged by logging into our website. Now, we will have a Chromebook pickup, which that is on our website. And I'm going to go ahead and click to our website real quick and just show you. If you've never been to our website, it's neville.mcschools.net. And you can scroll through and see that we have information here for you to look through pretty regularly. We recently sent out the Neville Notes Family Edition, which I would recommend if you have not looked at or did not receive via Remind, that you would read through that, because it does walk you through the back to school procedures that we will expect students to participate in. But if you look here, we're actually going to create a place where you would go to the menu and students would go to Teacher Web Pages. Simply go to Teacher Web Pages, click Teacher Web Pages, and say you have your schedule and you have let's start with Mr. Hanks for chemistry. You would click on Mr. Hanks and he would tell you, this is how you're going to log into my classroom. If you're in my first period pre-AP chemistry class, here's his Google Classroom code and here's his Remind code, okay? So everything is here for his students to know each period what to log into in their Google Classroom and how to set things up. Now, we wanted to make sure parents could be involved, and we thought this was very important. It's a lesson learned from the spring, but we felt like parents really didn't know and couldn't get access to assignments for students because you guys can't log into the Google Classroom unless your student gives you their code. So what we want teachers to do is actually put a week at a glance up every week. And what that will help you do is you can then help pace and check on your student to make sure they're on track and they're completing assignments. Now, some teachers may type it into their web page, and some may say, click here for the week at a glance. All of the web pages for our teachers will have a place for you to view a week at a glance, whether you can log into Google Classroom or not, which unless you have a Monroe City Schools account, you could not log into Google Classroom. So this is our way to help parents stay informed. Another thing I want to note about our website for teachers is that we will be posting office hours, and teachers will set up a Zoom link for students to log into those office hours and talk to their teacher in small groups, or maybe no one else shows up. Maybe it's just the teacher and one student who has a question about an assignment or or so forth. So office hours will be important, and that'll be something that our virtual students will probably take advantage of. And then lastly, contact information. If you have questions, you want to talk to Mr. Hanks or any other teacher, they will place their email address here at the bottom for you to click and link to, and you can ask them questions. Again, you know, these are high school students. We recognize that high school is usually a time where we're pulling back a little bit, and we're letting our students kind of go and do their thing and show their responsibility. But in this situation, we feel like parents need to have a little bit of information so that they can keep their students on track. And so that's why we provided the on-course, the classroom that you can look at here and check in on your student. Let me go back, and again, on our website, you should see any teacher that you may have. When you get your schedule, you can pick anyone. All the staff should be listed here. I'm going to go back to our homepage just to point out a couple of things here as well. We do have freshman orientation coming up, and it looks like it's a little confusing, but freshmen do only come on Friday the 28th. We will not have any other students here. So if anybody asks, virtual students do not have to attend on Friday, August 28th. We do not expect virtual students to come to the building at all, unless there's some situation we had to. I'm going to pull up the Neville notes because I want you to see this too. Every Friday, we're going to send out a Neville notes. We're going to talk to you about what's going on in the building. This is the one we sent out this past week via Remind. And I'm going to show you the Chromebook pickup, and I want to note this here. If you see here, we have Chromebook pickup starting this week, August 19th, and we have for freshmen and then also seniors, juniors, and sophomores on certain days from 9 to 1 p.m. So if you need a Chromebook, which we recommend every student pick up a Chromebook, we can ensure that you have the right tool. And if we're putting them out there, I would definitely sign up and go ahead and come pick one up. You can bring your student ID with you. You need to stay in your car. We're going to do it over in front of the stadium. So when you pull in, you'll pull up towards the stadium. You do need to bring a parent because they have to sign the technology agreement. But we're also going to have you sign your virtual contract that you understand what virtual instruction will look like for your student. One more thing to note, if your student has signed up for virtual only, up until school starts, once school starts, you will not be able to switch back to face-to-face until the end of the 9 weeks. So after this presentation, if you decide, I think I'd rather be face-to-face, I think the virtual is not a good fit for me, then you need to let us know prior to the first day of school so that we can fix your schedule, and we don't anticipate you being a virtual student. Once school starts, we have made plans, we know our numbers in our classrooms, and we're going to keep those virtual students virtual until the end of the 9 weeks. That's really all for me. I might have missed a thing or two, but I think I covered the gist of it, showing you where items are on our website, how to get plugged in. Certainly virtual will be a unique experience for our students, but we think that we have the right tools in place to make sure our students are successful. And Coach McCarty, is there anything else you would like to add? I think we've got about 6 more minutes. I think I have to unmute you, don't I? There you go.
There you go. All right, good. Again, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in tonight and getting some more information. One of the things I did want to make mention to you, we realize that food services will still be provided by for every student. So during our Chromebook pickup time, we'll also have our food services contract for you to sign if you need food services. If you want to pick up a meal here at school, our food services are going to be providing those things, and more information will come about how to do that, but we need to know a number to prepare for. So as you pick up your Chromebook information, we'll have that contract for you to sign if you need those services. The school district is certainly providing those. If you do have questions, we do want you to reach out to us, let us know. We do have an email open. It is NHS, it's capital N, capital H, capital S, questions@mcschools.net. If you have questions that you did not get answered tonight, I know there's some out there, do feel free to email us. We want to try to get those answered for you and again, serve you the best way we can here at Neville High School. So again, appreciate you tuning in tonight. We look forward to servicing your children and you to the very best way that we can here to start the school year and throughout the year, however long we're dealing with all of this we're into. So again, thanks to all of you Tigers. Hang in there. And again, look forward to seeing all of you soon. Thank you.
Thanks. Hey, we've also recorded this, so if you have friends or people who are interested in having some of their questions answered, this recording will be posted on the front page of our website. All right, that concludes our virtual orientation. If for some reason we think we need another orientation prior to school or even after school starts, we will send a message out to you through the Remind. I did want to share that with you real quick if I can. The Remind, I think I had a picture here. There it is. The Remind for our virtual students is at Nev Online. So make sure you've signed up for Remind and you have that on your phone so that any communication, this is the only way we can communicate with our virtual students, will be through the Remind app. Okay, well that concludes it. We appreciate you all logging on, and if you have any questions, please email us nhsquestions@mcschools.net. Thank you.